Welcome back to All Things Creepy. I'm your host, Micah James, and I'm kind of recording this episode a little differently only because I am traveling, and so I have my portable microphone with me rather than my usual one. On top of that, this episode is slightly different. It is a little bit shorter, and I'm not necessarily talking about something that's inherently creepy. It's still creepy to me, at least, but it's not necessarily creepy the same way as some past episodes have been. You might have even heard of this man that we're talking about today. His story makes its rounds on social media every few years, and that is supposed oldest person to ever live, Ching Yeun. Yes, you heard me correctly, supposed oldest man to ever live. According to Snopes, this is completely unproven, as we have no official birth certificate for Lee. We just know that for sure that he died in 1993. He was an herbalist and martial artist, and that he did in fact actually exist. What is highly disputed is when he was born and exactly how long he lived. He says that he was either born in 1677 or 1736, depending on which source that you look at, which means when he died in 1933, he was either 197 or 256 years old. The only thing that I could find that could kind of at least give any credence to how old he lived was just the many reports of people saying that he was old when they met him as children, and then as adults, he was still very old. He claims that he was able to live as long as he did because he was able to achieve peace of mind and inward calm, and he also believed that if people were able to do this too, they could live long lives like he has. Also, depending on the source, he either had 24 wives and 200 descendants, or 14 marriages and 180 descendants over his lifetime. There are a few theories as to how he was able to live as long as he did. The first one being what he said, the achievement of peace of mind and inward calm. The other is more commonly accepted. The fact that he took the identity of an older ancestor who happened to be born in 1677 or 1736. It could be his great great grandfather or an uncle or something like that. But like I said, that is the most commonly accepted theory. There are two big things that kind of disprove whether he lived as long as he did or not. And the first one is an article from 2021. According to this article, studies show that it's possible for humans to live up to 150 years old. But the thing is, at least right now, it is still highly unlikely, as there are a lot of stressors that can kill us, like cancer, getting hit by a vehicle, other diseases, natural weather accidents, that kind of thing. However, not considering those outside stressors for right now, it is possible to live between 120 and 150 years old. But what could kill us, again, not counting those outside causes, the regeneration of blood cells and metabolism and other bodily functions decrease over the span of your life. So basically, the longer you live, the less that your blood cells and your metabolism and all that can keep up with just life in general. The other big reason why this can kind of be disproven is just the fact that there has only been one person to have confirmed to live past 120, and that is a French woman named Jean Calment. She was born in Arles, France on February 21st, 1875, and died on August 4th, 1997. She was 122 years old. But it almost seems like living a long life was in her genes. Her very own mother lived until she was 86, and her father lived until he was 93. So it seemed like Jean was going to live a pretty long life regardless. On her 120th birthday, she was even quoted as saying, I've waited 110 years to be famous. I count on taking advantage of it. There are other people who have made it well past their 100s. Sarah Naus, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Sarah Naus and Kane Tanaka are both women who were able to live until they were 119. And a French nun named Lucille Randon was able to live until she was 118. Now, like I said, this topic isn't necessarily inherently scary. It's what makes it scary to me, at least, is just thinking about living longer than your relatives, your kids, your grandkids. Because even if you lived until 197 years old, you're running the risk of, you know, outliving your children, your grandchildren. And if you lived till 256, that's running the risk of outliving potentially your great grandchildren as well. And I don't know, just something about seeing even like your great grandchildren for some reason just freaks me out, and I can't put my finger on why that is to me. It's just freaky. So like I said, this is like a very short episode compared to like other episodes, but this is just a topic that I wanted to talk about. So let me know what you guys think about this. Did Ching Yeun actually live between 197 and 256 years old? Did he really take the identity of an ancestor and that's how he was able to claim that he was able to live that long? I will be linking my sources in the show notes, as well as the article that states that we can live as long as 150 in case you guys want to read the whole entire thing. It's a very interesting read. And if you want to learn about more confirmed long living people, again, I personally just couldn't find a whole lot on Ching Yeun's life, as it's kind of seems like a lot of it seems to be like unproven or just people just really aren't sure. So yeah, let me know. Hit me up on social media. All of it will be in the show notes. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Stay creepy, y'all.